What's up, guys? Another day of clipping. So, we have been working on this project here, and I've decided that I start making clips for this YouTube. So, welcome to my podcast. It's called Creators Network TV. I did a clip a while back, but I need to make some more. So I went past my 30 days, so I uploaded it again. So again, I have the raw footage. I can put it in here, or I can just take it from YouTube, because I posted it on YouTube yesterday and I made a clip so I could put one on social media. So just drop in a line here. If you want to see my other stuff, Privateer Sound on Instagram, Creators Network TV on Instagram. That's where I post my stuff, so you guys want to go and take a look, you're more than welcome to. So let's get into it. Let's click on this here. So I made this one yesterday, so we can just take a quick look on what I did for this clip.
If you go out there and you prepare, people say, oh, you got lucky, but no, if you prepare and the opportunity shows up, you're ready for it. That's where you succeed. There's always little successes, along with the challenges. You have successes because you break through and you fix things and you do things right, and you get to a place where things are starting to work and work out for you. But again, like true success in a business is where preparation meets opportunity. If you go out there and you prepare,
So I don't know if you noticed, there was like a little pop for me. Like, I'm a perfectionist, so I caught that. I could have went in there and cleaned it up. I thought I heard it, but sometimes, like, when you export it, you don't hear it. And I keep hearing it. I'm gonna have to check again when I upload it to Instagram if you can hear it, but I did, and I went back to look for it and I couldn't really find where it was at. But that's the thing, everything is not perfect. One thing about this that I noticed, that when I was playing it on Instagram, you can't see all of this here. So note for self is I can lower it a little bit. So definitely gonna have to lower these here. This one here is a quick one. It's only like 20 seconds. So let's click on this one. We're gonna edit. So now that we know that, we can drop this down here just a little bit more, maybe. Lick it up a little bit. Okay. Media monopolies need punching back. So let's just watch this video and see what it's. Maybe we can come up with something better.
I think that this is a perfect storm right now for things like this, so that people can go out and utilize that media space to go out and basically punch the networks in the face, because the networks, they've all gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there.
Okay, so definitely I think it needs a little bit more context. So fun fact, this is the owner of the studio that I'm in right now. I'm not inside the studio because right now it's set up for a podcast that I'm doing tomorrow, so I'm out in the lobby. But so he has two different angles here, because when this podcast was made, the orientation of my podcast now is that I'm sitting in a corner and the two chairs are kind of like this, versus there was a table in between us. I thought I liked that when I first started, but I don't know. I don't really. I like this setup better. One thing that had to do with, so where he's sitting right now. So if you imagine that's in that, you see the black and you see where the purple is at. That's a corner right there. And that's where I put the chairs. And so part of it too was the orientation of the camera, and I moved it. If you guys ever worked in the studio, I'm not the audio engineer. That's somebody else's job. But he's not here this weekend, so it's up to me to make it exactly how I want, and that's perfectly fine. By the time he comes in, I'll put everything back, but I feel like, the stuff in there, like, that's his baby, whatever. I'll fix it before he comes back. I've made clips with him talking before, and I love this guy, but he says or a lot, so we're definitely gonna have to fix that. I think the words can be higher a little bit, and this is one. We do it right under his mouth there. Okay, we're gonna take the highlighters off, because for me, I'm just not a big fan of it. Also, like I said, I do like the one line. Do I like the pop?
I think that this is
I don't mind none, bounce or pop. That's usually what I go for. So let's do the bounce there. And so what's going to happen here is that every word is going to be highlighted. I just like to keep it just white.
this is a perfect storm right now for things like this, so that people can go out and utilize that media.
Yeah, I think I like that. So let's go to AI enhance, remove filler words. There's a bunch of them. There was 4. Any pauses, there was 1 there. So yeah, it takes it down to 21 seconds. Okay, we go back here and we can see, because it's not a lot. I think that is, so when I'm trying to take like 2 things that he says double, I usually, because this is not a lot of right here, room. Speaking of, I'm saying that too. We can take this one because I have more to play with on this side, if that makes sense. So let's take this out here, and then we can go back here and see what that says, or what that does. Also too, we can clear up some of this dead space here.
I think that this is the perfect storm right now.
Okay, it cut into a perfect, a little bit too soon.
That this is a perfect storm right now.
So, or here, how about this? We can go back, and then we can just take, boom, we can just take that off, and then he can go right into this is a perfect storm.
This is a perfect storm right now for things like this, so that people can go out and utilize that media space to go out.
Okay, he was about to say so we can take that out.
Space to go out and basically punch the networks in the face, because the networks, they've all,
see, you tell it to take out the filler words and it doesn't take it out completely.
Punch the networks in the face, because the networks, they've all gotten together and
yep, same with this one, gotten. So right before that, we take that out,
because the networks, they've all gotten together and created an,
it's cut into gotten, I think, just a little bit too soon.
The networks, they've all gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there.
So one, I think there could be probably even a better hook, and then I think it needs more, right? Also, be aware that instead of people saying people say I've been guilty of that. So let's go here and see if we can find something to add. So let's just listen to this part.
But I'm noticing that,
by the way, this is me, right? If you haven't noticed.
People are out, instead of listening to the media that's spoon-fed to them, like we did when I was a kid. You had to listen to that news, and we didn't listen to the news as much as young people do today. But now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to listen to, who you're going to research, and try and see if you're getting the information that you need. But I'm noticing that, people are out.
I do like some of that stuff there. Let's go back. Let's go a little bit more.
So it's a new world, and this right here, this studio here is, probably 100 times more powerful than the news that I watched on Channel 5 when I was a kid. We have the ability to reach the whole world, not just my local market, but I can touch the whole world from here. My clients can touch the whole world from here. So,
all right. Let's just go a little bit more, and then let's see. We might use this a few
and if they've
things.
got a good message and they got something good to say, then they have that opportunity. So if they've prepared and they come in here and use the opportunity of what social media and
okay. So I like him ending maybe probably like right here. I'm not going to use all of this, but it's just easier if I put this all in and then take it out in editing. So yeah, now we're over. We added pretty much a whole minute to this, because the networks, they've all there might be a way for us to clean this the networks. So I think we could probably just take this out and then see if this flows into the next one. Good.
This is a perfect storm race because, you know, the networks gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there. But I'm noticing that, you know, people are out.
Okay, so again, let's go to where we can remove filler words and pauses. Geez, there's 13 pauses. So yeah, that took it down quite a bit. So now we just have to go in there and then see what we don't need. You could probably take this sentence out because it's just like an opinion, but
Gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there. People are out, you know, instead of listening to the media that's spoon-fed to them, like we did when I was a kid. You had to listen to that news, and we didn't listen to the news as much as young people do today. But now
I don't think we need this one. Just because, well, one, we need to cut down time, but two, it's just, you gotta, like, when you do this enough times, you feel like you understand what is word fluff. And when you really think about it, I mean, you can listen to an hour podcast, and sometimes you're listening, you're just like, all the things that you had to say probably could have been condensed down to 30 minutes. Because people like to repeat themselves, or it's just, you know, they're trying to tell a good story, which, if you're a great storyteller, that's a plus. But in the sense of doing short form, we need to make everything tight, you know?
It's because, you know, the networks gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there. People are out, you know, instead of listening to the media that's.
So we can do this because people are out. He didn't complete a thought. So we'll come here. See that little.
And their message is what's out, instead of listening to.
Okay, so that what I erased was there. Okay.
And their message is what's out there, instead of listening to the media that's spoon-fed to them, like we did when I was a kid. But now you can go out and choose.
Okay, so actually we could take this out too. And then, but now, there's nowhere to hide. Okay, so when you're making a cut, when he says things too quick, it's kind of hard to like cut off, because then words are too like jammed together, if that makes sense. So when he says something that has space to it, that's better. Like this piece right here, when he takes a second to say but.
And their message is what's out there. But now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to listen to, you know, who you're going to research, and
what you're going to listen to. You could probably take all of this out because he repeated himself.
and their message is what's out there. But now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you.
Okay, there was something.
What you're going to listen to, who you're going to research.
I mean, sometimes you just can't take out everything because that wasn't like a cut right there. I mean, you could when he makes that breath.
To who you're going to research, yeah. and
yeah, saying and way too much. 4 times.
Choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to research.
Listen to.
Choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to research, and try and see if you're getting the information that you need. So it's a new world.
And don't need that. Don't need so either. So if you go to need, right? Needs right there, so you don't need all of this.
Try and see if you're getting the information that you need. It's a new world. And this right here, this studio.
Don't need that. You can just go right into this studio. See, but that's the thing. is just a small world, and if you take is, you know, if you take no away from that, it's gonna be like too much. So it's a new world. This studio here is, you know, probably 100 times more powerful than the news I watched on Channel 5 when I was a kid. Okay, I can already read. So the local market line we don't need, but I can touch the whole world from here. My clients can touch the whole world from here, and if they got a good message and they got something good to say, then they have that opportunity. We're down to 49 seconds. It might not be bad, so let's just go from the top.
This is a perfect storm right now for things like this, so that people can go out and utilize that media space to go out and basically punch the networks in the face, because, you know, the networks gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there. But now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to research.
Who?
What you're going to listen to, who you're going to research, and try.
Let's see what's going on here. Maybe take that out.
Now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to research, and try and see if you're getting the.
Yeah, see, we need research. So maybe take that.
What you're going to listen to, who you're going to research, and try and see if.
Okay, there's a part in there where it's getting. Okay, we're gonna need to really expand this and just take that little bit of piece right there. Let's see if that helps it.
You're going to listen to, who you're going to research, and try and see if you're getting the information that you need. It's a new world. This.
Let's see, where is that?
That you need. It's a new world. This studio here is, you know, probably 100 times more powerful than the news that I watched on Channel 5 when I was a kid. We have the ability to reach the whole world, but I can touch the whole world from here. My clients can touch the whole world from.
So we have the ability to reach the whole world. And so because he says if they got a good message, we have to at least keep my clients. So we could probably take all of this out here and then see how that sounds.
The news that I watched on Channel 5 when I was a kid. We have the ability to reach the whole world. My clients can touch the whole world from here. And if they've got a good message and they got something good to say, then they have that opportunity.
Was that good?
Message and they got something good to say, then they have that opportunity.
Yeah, he says, but we don't really know where that ends. So, I mean, I'm fine with it. So again, I like to go back through it and just see the flow of it without stopping. Also, you probably noticed that, you know, since we had added that section, some of the words got lower. So we can just fix that here. You just need to move it just a little bit, and then all the others are going to sync.
This is a perfect storm right now for things like this, so that people can go out and utilize that media space to go out and basically punch the networks in the face, because, you know, the networks gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there. But now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to research, and try and see if you're getting the information that you need. It's a new world. This studio here is, you know, probably 100 times more powerful than the news that I watched on Channel 5 when I was a kid. We have the ability to reach the whole world. My clients can touch the whole world from here. And if they've got a good message and they got something good to say, then they have that opportunity.
So one of the things that I noticed is the framing changed in some of them. So what you can do is there's right here. Okay. So you see that shouldn't be like that. So let's split it here, and then we can just make sure that all of these are the same, just in case. So go here, and okay, I mean that's pretty centered because he likes to move a lot. So that doesn't change. You can also set it if someone's like, maybe somebody's on a stage and they're moving around, you can put where is it, the tracker. You can put the tracker on, so it takes a little bit more explanation, but I mean, at least
the networks gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there. But now you can go out and choose.
Okay, so where did that go? Because it happened so fast, right? It's like right there. I mean, it's so fast you can't even see it.
And their message.
Let's see. So yeah, if I highlight it, it's gonna grab the next one too. Oh, I got it. But I need to highlight all the way to here, which, okay. So he's got a lot of space behind him, so I think I want to move that over just a little bit. All right.
And their message is what's out there. But now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to reach.
So he is like this for, I guess, the end. So just highlight that, and then, you know, just look at his shoulders, look over his neck, because yeah, he might move around a bit, he might move his body, but usually it's just like the head, right? So
who you're going to research and try and see if you're getting the information that you need. It's a new world. This studio here.
Does he have to say the new world? Indeed, maybe we can go without these two lines. Because research and finding information you need is like saying the same thing. And then it's a new world. I think we can take that away. So, you know, this is 42 seconds. You don't have a lot of time to catch people's attention. But this is also a studio, and he's the owner of the studio. And one of the things I think about is if anybody wanted to look up the studio's name on Instagram and you want to go through the videos, they might sit through these videos. Which brings me to a thought that I had yesterday. This is a thought, let me know in the comments your guys' opinion, but is social media profiles, your Instagram profile, are they becoming like what websites are, right? Because depending, like let's say a service website, a plumber, an electrician, we're gonna go on Google and we want to see if you have at least a website. You're using the website to have an SEO, right? To be relevant. That's what it's most important for. Are people spending a whole lot of time on your website if they're not shopping for something on your website? You know what I mean? Because are they getting your phone number, the name of your business, the reviews all from Google without even clicking on your website? So is it becoming harder to get followers on Instagram, TikTok, all these platforms? Yeah, I mean, we've had Instagram for how long? Back since 2011, 10 or so. And so 16 years later, it's like, but for me, what I do is if I'm looking up for like a good restaurant, or I find a restaurant and I'll say, hey, you know, I want to see like their content, I want to see what their food looks like, I will look for them on Instagram. So bringing people to this and saying, oh wow, like this guy really cares about what he's building here. That's my thought, right? We could try to maybe take this a step further. So Opus Clips is really good for just like managing it like this. You do have a way to put some B-roll in there, but if you guys have other platforms that you guys like to use to work on your shorts, there's an app called Captions. It's another AI. I've been messing around with that for a little bit, but we could put some B-roll of the studio. I might do that, which wouldn't be a bad idea. So, but this is the most basic. If I started doing that on this, it might just take this video to like an hour long, and let's talk about keeping people's attention and not putting you guys to sleep, right? So one more time from the top, let's just listen to it all the way through.
This is a perfect storm right now for things like this, so that People can go out and utilize that media space to go out and basically punch the networks in the face, because the networks gotten together and created monopolies, and their message is what's out there. But now you can go out and choose what you're going to listen to, who you're going to research. This studio here is, probably 100 times more powerful than the news that I watched on Channel 5 when I was a kid. We have the ability to reach the whole world. My clients can touch the whole world from here. And if they've got a good message and they got something good to say, then they have that opportunity.
Okay, so one thing, this studio, I think we need to create a little bit of, if we can, a little bit of space.
Listen to who you're going to research. This studio here is...
It's better. And then from then to they.
Then they have that up.
A little bit of space.
And they got something good to say, then they have that opportunity.
Oh, was he going to say something? Maybe just close that a little bit.
Something good to say, then they have that opportunity.
All right, so I think that's good enough, guys. 42 seconds, not bad. So let's go to, let's save it. And who knows, if I start working on B-roll, and the thing is like, you have to have things ready. The B-roll on here, of course, is going to take credits away from you, but if you have your own B-roll, I don't think it does. But you could always do that somewhere else too. Captions allows you to use your own B-roll as well, and they do like the zoom in, the zoom out. So I don't know, I might try that, and then if it works out, I'll upload it, and then I'll show you guys for tomorrow. Okay, so but that is it. When it is done, this will say download here. It will click it here. I'll have like a little green thing here to let you know it's done, if you've seen that in my other videos. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any comments, it just downloads to your computer. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, you don't like my content, that's fine. If you need any help with your own stuff, just let me know, and I'm here for you. So see you next time.